Tuesday. Once again, I have a thing going on Wednesday that will kind of make it difficult for me to record a show on Wednesday, so once again I'm doing it a day early. Today I'm running in the river park, but this time I'm running in the opposite direction. I'm running out of town. I'm on a cinder trail at the moment. One of those red cinder, looks like ground up bricks, that kind of cinder trail. Running this way is going to be a little more interesting because every other time I have run here, I have run into town, or I have walked and run with Norma. But today, because I have only myself and the other trail users to run with, I'm not looking for the scenic route, even though this one is quite pretty. Running under one of the many bridges. In the old days, when I used to come here as a kid, this whole area was very rough. The river had very little water in it, so it was mainly just bushes and garbage and gypsies. This is where the street people used to live, in the riverbed. But they cleaned up the river. They rerouted it, in fact, sent it about 4 kilometers around Valencia so that there would not be a chance of the devastating flood that happened here in the 50s. So they were left with a dry riverbed. Well, the nice thing about a river, especially through a city, is that you already have all the bridges and the walls separating the river from the roads. So it was just a matter of beautification. They put in a lot of trees, and they put in a lot of play areas for the people to exercise. I'm running past one of those all-weather playing areas. This one is a soccer field, and to my left there's some basketball courts. $7.18, I think she said. I'm using the auto pause mainly for the first 1 kilometer where I have to stop a lot to cross on the pedestrian crosswalks. I'm going to run out of town, pretty much to the wild farmland to the northwest of Valencia. There is another slight advantage of running in this direction. Because I'm doing an out and back, my return run should be a little bit easier because I will be running towards the sea, slightly downhill. Seconds behind, that's not bad. Now that I'm running continuously. So my itinerary is to remain in Valencia until Monday, and then on Monday morning I take the metro to the airport. That would be the 6th of March. Landing in Gatwick the same day, where I will spend a whole day with my brother, the 7th. Pablo, my brother. And from there, I fly on the 7th, no, on the 8th. Let me see, no, I leave on the 6th. I'm in England on the 7th. I fly out to Toronto on the 8th. And on the 9th, I fly once again via Edmonton this time to Victoria. Basically 3 days to return. I will probably record my midweek show in England. I'm a few seconds behind now, but that's okay. Running into the wind, slightly uphill. That's understandable. It comes from one of those little municipal tractors. Dragging behind itself a dumpster on wheels. Yet another bridge. If I remember rightly from last year, Alan and I came this way and we saw some kind of boating pond and some kind of amphitheater. It's getting a little more rural now. I'm running on asphalt. Very soon I will be running on wooden boards. Today is quite windy, as you might hear coming through the apparatus. These are pretty uneven boards, actually. They're just embedded sleepers on a surface with no spaces. To my left there's a mound of earth that they have put a spiral pathway up. It's probably the earth that they excavated to make this boating pond. to my left. It's almost like a Saxon burial mound, but it isn't. There's a fountain to my left, and there's the amphitheater to my right. It is a modern structure backing onto that man-made hill, but it's built like a historic amphitheater, but with new rocks. Hola. These boats are swan-shaped. They're like pedal boats. 7:07. 3K. So I'm about 21 seconds behind so far. Yeah, there's swans. A few swan pedal boats. And a duck. And another couple of pedal boats without bird heads. Every now and then you come across a little area where they have exercise equipment outdoors. And there's a woman standing on a swivel board, holding on to a large steering wheel. She is swiveling her hips. There's also things like elliptical trainers, stationary bikes. They even have table tennis, all-weather table tennis tables and chess boards. So today, if I'm getting it right, is the last day of Jim on Facebook. He takes a Lenten break every year. I hope he doesn't stop recording his shows. He might actually make more of the absence of Facebook time to get his runs in. I'm halfway through my book. I have to take it back to the library and pay a modest fine. Norma tried to renew it, but according to them, there is no record of her having taken the book out in the first place, so I'm not sure whether they even know that we have it. But still, I'm enjoying it. It's a murder mystery. Set in Quebec, a province that I have a fair amount of knowledge of. I set the runkeeper lady, the ice smooth run lady, to remind me when I get to 5 kilometers, and then I will turn and head back to prepare my lunch, which will be some kind of variant on chicken and vegetables, either with rice or potatoes. I still have 5 days, so I'm pretty sure I can eat all the food in the fridge by then. I might actually have a meal with my Aunt Carmen. Alright, so now I'm heading right into the boonies. And right into the wind. I think my next reminder will be halfway to my goal. It's going to be nice to have this breeze behind me. It'll be a lot quieter for recording, that is. Over to my left is the Valencia Zoo. Occasionally you see a giraffe or an elephant poking its head above the walls. Hola. Buenas means good day. Hola means hello. Oh, hi. If I say buenas, they will probably say hola back at me. Alan and I came this way on one of the last days of his stay in Spain. He too needed to be in the airport. So I have one more K to go at 7. Which should take me to the end of this dirt trail. I will also have to record this onto my phone when I get back to my flat. So instead of ocean noises in the background, I will be dealing with city noises. My brother's apartment on Calle de Josef de Calasanz, San Joseph of Calasanz, is quite noisy, but fortunately he has double windows. It will be quite a relief when I turn, if only for the recording quality. As I get out of town, it's getting windier and windier. I still manage to hear seconds ahead, which is good. That bodes well. So I believe Jim's going to, where is it now? Chattanooga to run a half marathon this weekend. So I'm expecting him to put out a short spring episode on his last training run before Chattanooga as he climbs up, up, up his big hill outside his house. Yep, it's just a few industrial parks and a lot of wild brush up at this end. They have planted a few acacia trees along this dirt trail. But they have not made much attempt to improve the surface. 14 seconds ahead, just about to make my turn. Now I believe this is where the zoo is because there's a lot of backs of tall buildings with peligro, which means danger. That's to prevent people climbing into the animal houses. So there's a small plot of allotments, a little shanty area of tarpaulins and skips of wooden platforms that they use with a forklift truck, making up these little rudimentary gardens. The people here, probably totally unauthorized, but still, this is wasteland now. Running under the hydro lines. In terms of recording time, I'm up to 23 minutes. 24 actually. So I've got about 10 minutes after the turn. There you go.
4 minutes, 36 seconds. Distance, 5 kilometers. Workout average pace, 6 minutes, 55 seconds per kilometer.
Alright, so now I'm heading back. This is a lot calmer. So when I get back, I have to start peeling and chopping vegetables and butchering 2 chicken legs. I'll be left with a soup of sorts, chicken and vegetable soup, of which I can make either a paella vegetables in the broth and the chicken off the bone, which is probably what I will do. I will separate meat from the bones, the broth from the vegetables, and then reincorporate it all as I cook the rice. So I'm now heading west. No, sorry, east. The sun rises in the east. They call the east coast of Spain the Levante, which is from the Latin for rising. Levante. East is levadura, rising. Hello. She must have known I was English. She said hello. The Spaniards here, let's say the Spaniards 30 and under, all speak very good English. That will change probably a little bit with Brexit, even though England will still attract a lot of teenagers. They won't be looking for careers or jobs for them because they will no longer have access to the job market. Likewise, for the English people who have either retired in Spain or bought properties or have come here to use their language skills for employment. That will all end with Brexit. I heard a podcast today from the BBC. There's three middle-aged men on bicycles. The one with a red backpack was asking the leader how far they have travelled, and according to his GPS, they have been pedaling for 12 kilometers. This is probably their return trip. Just saw a lone jogger coming towards me, dressed like it was the North Pole. Excuse me. That was my porridge. Here, there is incredible following of road racing, bicycle road racing. I would say, to correct my friend Crazy Legs, bullfighting is probably the fourth most popular sport here. I would say it was soccer, ciclismo, cycling, running, and then maybe bullfighting in order of spectators and participants. Every Sunday they put on at least 2 marathons on the television in this area. Last Sunday I saw a marathon from Barcelona and a marathon from Gran Canarias, which is the Canary Islands, which is a Spanish colony in the Atlantic. There is also a group of islands in the Mediterranean. The islands in the Mediterranean are the Balearic Islands, consisting of Mallorca, Ibiza, Minorca, and Formentera. Formentera is a very small island, probably about the size of Gozo, one of the islands of the Maltese archipelago, where my friend Crazy Legs comes from. One minute ahead, how about that? Let me just check my timing. 32 minutes of recording. So this recording will end as I get back to the boating lake. I will probably say goodbye to you in the excellent acoustic area of the amphitheater. Let's see if I can get back there in the next 4 minutes. I have 4 minutes to talk about my other passion, which is the Friends of the Seeker podcast photography page on Facebook. I love the pictures that we are getting, and I crave your indulgence of my arbitrary deletion process. I think scarcity adds value in this respect. There are way too many pictures on Facebook. We should at least keep and enjoy the good ones. But let's face it, how often do you go back to look at old pictures on Facebook? It's almost like you're putting them in a bottomless trash can, which kind of devalues them, in my opinion. I'm thankful that there are fewer and fewer pictures of snow. We're all coming out of this strange season. Tomorrow I go and see my mother. Yesterday I went to see her, but unfortunately her care person had taken her to the hairdressers. She used to work with my mother when she still lived at home. And that became impossible as her dementia increased. But we kept her on to visit my mother. I believe we pay her 20 euros a visit, And yesterday, she would have earned those 20 euros taking Mum to the hairdressers. I can see the boating pond up ahead. Yesterday's aborted visit to my mother was not an entire waste of time, because I now have scoped out a route from where I live to where she is, and it is almost exactly 5.5 kilometers. So tomorrow I will probably I'll probably take the metro out and then run back. I'm going to run a little late here, maybe 1 minute of overtime of my recording. But what the heck? I can do that. Many of my friends put out shows which are way over the hour, which is kind of a little counterproductive if you want people to listen to your show, especially if you're putting out 2 shows a week. Alright, I'm just going to go up to the amphitheater now to say goodbye to you, as there are a couple of people shadowboxing on a the Acropolis.
1 minute, 26 seconds ahead.
Shadowboxing in the Acropolis, I think that's a line from a Grateful Dead song. So this is the stage of the amphitheater.
Autopause.
Yeah, he's boxing away there. Okay. As I run down the Acropolis steps, well, the amphitheater, I will say bye-bye at 38 minutes. Bye-bye.